This video training tip is on how to help your dog achieve stillness, just to be able to stand still and not move. Now, why is this important? Because in competition obedience, we're always trying to build drive and lots of fast movements into our dogs and keep things really exciting. Well, we need to balance that excitement with stillness, because there are many exercises in competition obedience that require your dog just to remain still, such as the stand for exam in both novice and in utility when you do the moving stand. Also have stillness that is required when the dog is doing signals. You leave your dog and you leave your dog in a stand. So we want our dogs to feel comfortable with doing that. Now, the same time that I'm teaching stillness, I'm also teaching proper stand posture to my dog. And how I achieve this is I use 2 footboards that the dog is going to place his front feet on and his back feet on to give him the parameters of where he needs to stand still. And it also provides an anchor for the feet. So the first thing I'm going to do is teach my dog how to put his front feet on the board. Now I can do this by just taking a treat and luring him to the board and encouraging him to put a foot on each board and to stay in a standing position. So we want a default stand when we do this. And then what I'm going to do is a few times is I'll just throw a treat off and I'll move to the other side. Just make sure that my dog can return to putting his 2 front feet on the board. He's comfortable with doing that. So once my dog is consistently putting his 2 front feet onto the board without a lure anymore, I just throw a treat off and he can return to the board and do this. Then I'm going to teach him how to put his back feet onto the board. So how I'm going to do that is walk him across the board, and when his back feet go onto the board and I just lure 1 foot on and then the next, then I'm going to mark that and reward it. And I'm going to reward that a few times, just staying on the board with the back feet, because I want him to feel that this is the reinforcement zone. That is a good place to be. That's where you want your feet to be. Okay, and once I do that, then I'm going to move him off the board, and I'm just going to say back, and move with him so that he puts both his feet on the board. I don't want to be doing too much of this, trying to move his feet. He has to learn how to find the board himself with his back feet. So you can lure it a few times, but don't make that a habit. Okay, then I'm going to pull him off the board and see if he can go backwards and try to find the boards. Good, so he's focusing too much on my hands, so I'm going to put them behind my back. Yes, and then mark when I see him do the right thing. If your dog is going sideways as you back them up, they're going like this way or that way and not going straight, then just put up some kind of a guide so that they have to go straight. I often use the plastic rods that I use for fronts. You could use the broad jump board on either side. Just find something if you're having that issue so they learn how to go straight. And your next task is going to be getting your dog to put both his feet on the front board and both his feet on the back board. And once you've taught them separately, putting them together usually comes very quickly. So I want to make sure that my dog's posture looks pretty good. That his front feet are not out posting, that he's posting, or that his back end is too stretched out. So I want to, take a look in a mirror, or I want to set up my camera and put it on reverse so that I can see, looking at the camera, it gives me like a little mirror and I can see what my dog is doing. So once you establish that, then you're going to start to bring your dog onto both boards. So I'm just going to throw a little treat off for him and let him find both boards. Notice where my hands are, they're here, okay? So I want to get away from too much of this now. And then what I'll do is throw a treat off, make sure he can find both boards again. Excellent. Good. His posture looks good, his top line is straight. Then I'll be able to move on to doing some other exercises. This is Catch exhibiting good posture and stillness. So I think it's pretty obvious what I mean by good posture. He's square, his top line is nice, his 4 feet are all even. Okay, now what I want to be able to do is give him a treat and come back and forth, and he doesn't move. So if the dog moves, then I just wait until he's still, and when he's still, yes, and I will reinforce that. Okay, so I will also do a little bit of letting him watch the treats. I can do a little exam. Good boy. I can reinforce him from here. And this he didn't come this way. I had to teach this. If he would move any foot, I would just close the hand, and that means that treats are now not available to you. When he would be still again, I would open my hand. So I've taught him how to be still in this position. Now what I'm going to do is throw a treat behind or off this way. Can do it both ways. I go to the other side, and he is going to assume this same position. Get it? Good. Nice. And as soon as he does, I am going to reinforce it, okay? Because I want him to know that, hey, you just nailed it. You don't have to keep trying. And so for him, because he did not come with good posture, good standing posture, his nicely built dog, nice conformation, but he wasn't holding himself properly. So this has really, really helped with that, giving him a nice square stand, which is what I want for position changes, for signals, for the novice stand. This is how I would like him to be. So I highly recommend this training. As I said earlier, it has a lot of value to it in the sport that we do, and it's good for all dogs to learn how to be still and calm. And of course, we do the dry building and all that, but they need to be balanced in both areas. So have fun with it, and happy training.